May I come in, sir?
Please come.
Good morning, sirs. Good morning, sir.
Please sit down.
Thank you.
What is your name?
Sir, my name is Jayashri Pradhan.
Ms. Jayashri, sit relaxed. Let your back touch the back of the chair. Please tell us about yourself.
Sir, my name is Jayashri Pradhan. I have been born and raised in Darjeeling district. I have studied in Loreto Convent, Darjeeling, after which I pursued my legal education from Karnataka State Law University in Bangalore. Sir, I am also an avid reader and I have also done I have played music from Trinity College London, which was a correspondence course. I played the guitar and sir, my first preference is the Indian Foreign Service.
Did you go to London also, or it was only correspondence?
So it was a correspondence course and the examiner would come from London, but it was a correspondence course.
You did not go to London?
No, sir.
Achha, tell me, what is so good about the British that they ruled over half of the world, according to you? Including India. It was a jewel in their crown.
So I believe the reason why the Britishers were able to rule the world at the time was with respect to a lot of their commercial gains and also the industrial revolution that had taken place at the time, which had given them an edge over the others. So I believe that was one prominent aspect. The second aspect.
How did that industrial revolution help them in ruling over others? I mean, that was their internal development.
Yes, sir.
Yeah?
So I feel that the other reason also why the Britishers were able to rule the world, so to speak, was because of their company policy that the East India Company, for instance, was quite famous for its exploits.
No, what kind of East India Company came only to East India. It came only to this side, but they ruled other parts, South Africa also for that matter.
Yes, sir.
So there must be some other qualities in them. Can you, do you know, can you think, can you guess or anything? No.
Sir, I can guess, sir. So probably it was because of their, I'm sorry, sir, I'd have to.
Okay, doesn't matter. You tell us the legacy of the British Raj in India, what all they left behind for us when they left.
So they left us the railways, for instance, which was started in 1853 itself. And so apart from that, even the civil services is some of the aspects that they used to follow. So in terms of infrastructure such as railways, post offices and the institutions that they left us is something that comes to mind.
Now tell me, West Bengal, Darjeeling, what are our problems with Bangladesh?
So I believe that the problems with Bangladesh can be clubbed into a few categories. First is with respect to the political relationship that we have. We have a very good relationship with the ruling party currently, but that could also change because of the other party.
I said problems only,
yes, sir.
Ms. Jayashri,
yes,
not good things, yeah.
So, but I mean, because we only have good relations with one particular party, where if there's a chance that the other political party comes to power, then it could create a rift. But apart from that, sir, I'm sorry.
You mean we have good relations only with one political party there?
So currently we do have good relationships with
parties don't, countries don't work like that. Yes, they naturally work with the political party in power, but they have good relations with other parties also. Yes, anyway, so
apart from that, we also have water sharing issues, especially with respect to the Teesta River. And we have a few water agreements with them. But with respect to water sharing issues, that is one. Apart from that,
what is the issue?
So the Teesta River, for instance, because we are the higher riparian state, and we get the higher flow and higher water issues coming with respect to Teesta. They want more share with terms of Teesta River. Apart from that, sir, the refugee crisis is another problem that.
Refugee? Which refugees?
So refugees from Bangladesh generally that are there.
Refugees for what? I mean, Bangladesh is an independent country.
Yes, sir.
So they don't have any refugees which come to us.
So, but we do have a migrant crisis that usually there's a huge influx of Bangladeshis.
So that is a different matter, yes, but they're not refugees.
Right, sir.
I thought you were referring to Rohingya refugees. Okay, what else? Anything else?
So those two come to mind at the moment.
My last question is about your personal development books. Which is the last book you read and how did you benefit?
So the last book that I read was The Courage to be Disliked by
Courage to be?
The Courage to be Disliked.
Okay.
And the way I benefited from it is there was a very novel idea called separation of tasks there. And what it said is that what we need to do is we need to give our best, and if we worry about what other people think of us, then we won't be able to put our best foot forward. And that is what it means to have the courage to be disliked. So that is how I benefited from it.
And who wrote this book?
So it was written by Ichiro Kishimo and Fukitami Koga, they are Japanese people. So.
Thank you.
Yes,
Jayashree, don't you feel cold?
no, sir, I'm from Darjeeling, so actually I am not feeling cold at the moment.
I never knew that just because you live in the hills you got immunity from cold.
No, sir, but you do get used to it after a point.
Okay. Well, I lived in the hills all my life, but I still feel cold here. Anyway, tell me, you would like to go to the Foreign Service,
Yes, sir.
right? Why you?
So, a couple of reasons. First of all, I do have an interest in international relations and diplomacy. I think it's a very exciting job, and that is something I would like to pursue. Apart from that, sir, I would say that there are also very healthy role models because if we look at the first female Foreign Secretary of India, Ms. Chokila Iyer, she was from Darjeeling and she studied in my school itself. So for those reasons, I would say. And sir, thirdly, I would also like to put forward the idea that it would be one of the greatest honors to be able to represent my country in a foreign country.
Do you take interest in what is happening around in the foreign countries?
Yes, sir.
Or relations with other countries? Right? Tell us something about our currently whatever relations we have with our neighbors.
So I believe that with our neighbors there are multiple fronts. With respect to Myanmar, for instance, we have the recent free movement regime that is being stopped. The recent Ministry of Home Affairs has said that we will stop the free movement regime. When it comes to Maldives, there is another problem. There is a problem there with respect to the current India Out campaign that had happened, but it is being resolved through backdoor channels of diplomacy. When it comes to Nepal, we have recently given them aid when it comes to the 2015 earthquake that had happened in Nepal. In Bhutan, we have a very long-standing friendship. There have been issues with respect to Doklam and with respect to Chinese influence, but we are taking care of that. With respect to China, we have a few border disputes and a few territorial disputes. And with respect to Pakistan, there is the issue of terrorism as well.
What is the BRI?
So BRI is China's Belt and Road Initiative, and what it does is it tries to replicate the old the silk route that China had, and it tries to connect various continents with China. And one of the contentious things about the BRI, which can be the land BRI as well as
There
maritime
is some
BRI.
controversy in Nepal
Yes.
with relation to BRI. What is it about?
So
It is in the paper these days. Something to do with BRI.
So specifically with Nepal, I'm not being able to recall at the moment, sir.
It's close to your place, some place in Nepal, something relating to Pokhara. What is the issue?
I'm so sorry, sir. I would have to read more about it.
Okay, you follow Pakistani elections?
Yes, sir.
What is the situation there?
So currently, recently the results were announced, and actually Imran Khan was won. Imran Khan had a majority vote there, despite him being jailed for a couple of factors. And so that is the situation at the moment.
But his party has been de-recognized. So
Yes.
how can you say he has a majority?
So according to the votes, according to the poll numbers that have come out, he has gotten a majority at the moment. But as you, but sir, it is true that his party has been
No, but beta,
de-recognized.
his party doesn't exist.
Yes, sir.
There is no, that party is not on the ballot paper.
Yes, sir.
So how do you say he has a majority?
So because it was not just him but also the other members. So I'm so sorry. I have
Right.
to learn more about that.
No, you see, there is a great demand generally for reservation for various castes, communities. Why there is no demand for reservation for women in services?
So in services specifically, so I feel that just taking UPSC as an example as well when it comes to services, I think when it comes to services there is this element of, so in exams like this, being a woman myself, what I have seen is that there is always an active measure to include everybody, including women. And so even as a woman, I've never felt the need that, I might be discriminated against. And because exams like this make a conscious effort
So even
to
in the
be
parliament has passed a bill to have reservation for women in parliament.
Yes, so but yes.
So why not in this sector also?
So I think there is a distinction between the parliament, that is the politics, and the services that happens through exams like this. Like I said, so when it comes to exams like this, there's a conscious effort made to not discriminate against women. But when it comes to politics,
You
a lot
think
of real life,
women in India are not a deprived section?
yes, sir. So there are a couple of reasons why they are deprived. But so when it comes to merit, especially in meritorious exams, so I would say that reservation is not necessary, as that would be my opinion when it comes to merit based exams. When it comes to politics, on the other hand, because a lot of factors are at play that are invisible, such as the dual burden of women that they face, that case it becomes
Thank you.
Ms. Jayashree Pradhan,
Yes, sir.
as you mentioned, the Foreign Service is your first preference.
Yes, sir.
What qualities do you have which make you suitable for the Foreign Service?
So I would say that the first quality that I have is probably the ability to communicate, because I don't think that I have issues with communication. That is one. The second is that, sir, I'm also able to have a very objective outlook when it comes to certain issues, and I believe that a level of objectivity is required in foreign services. And thirdly, sir, I'm also very adaptable.
What are the foreign services?
So foreign service, sir.
Okay.
I'm sorry. And thirdly, sir, I would say that I'm very adaptable and flexible, and I think that the Indian Foreign Service requires that.
All right. Now, a little while back, you were talking of terrorism from Pakistan.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me some of the major terrorist attacks which Pakistani non-state actors have carried out against India?
Yes, sir. So coming to the 2008 attack, the 26/11 attack that was carried out by Lashkar-e-Taiba, that is one. Second, we also had the Jaish-e-Mohammed attacks in the Pulwama region in 2019. So those two are the first that comes to mind. And recently we are also having a crisis in the Rajouri-Punj area.
Now, Lashkar-e-Taiba had also carried out another major attack. Can you tell me which one was that? Let me remind you the year. It was 2001.
2001. Yes, sir. So are you talking? So is it the US basically?
Beg your pardon?
I'm sorry, sir.
What does the US base? Does the US have a base in India?
No, sir. No, sir. I'm so sorry, sir. I thought you were talking about September attacks, that the Twin Tower attack that happened.
I'm talking about here in India,
Okay.
Lashkar-e-Taiba. You cannot tell me which was the attack in 2001?
I'm sorry, sir.
Okay, let's come back to the Jaish-e-Mohammed. The Jaish-e-Mohammed, you said, carried out the Pulwama attack. But in 2016, they had also carried out two other major attacks. Which were those? I think you don't know. Now, who heads the Lashkar-e-Taiba?
Sir, is it Hafiz Saeed, sir?
Don't ask
I'm
me.
sorry, sir.
You're not sure. And who heads the Jaish-e-Mohammed?
I'm sorry, sir.
You
I'm
don't
not
know.
sure.
All right. Now, you said you like to follow international affairs and you're objective. Tell me three important news items pertaining to international affairs from today's papers.
From today's paper. So the first news was with respect to the recent Pakistan elections that had happened. That was the first news.
What was the news?
So the news was with respect to the elections and how it could be rigged. That was one of
All
the
right.
news.
Okay. Another one?
And so the second news.
You were sitting there and the newspaper was in front of you.
So I was to.
You didn't
No,
read
sir.
it. You didn't read the newspaper that was lying in front of you.
So I just came 10 minutes ago. So I'm sorry.
Well,
sir, I shouldn't-
you were already more than 10 minutes while we were waiting, you know.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me ask. Did you follow the arrest of Indian naval officers in Qatar?
Yes, sir.
So, how has the case developed?
So originally they had gotten the death penalty, but now it has been commuted to life sentence.
Have they been released?
No, sir, not.
All right. Now tell me, PM's foreign visits are very important. In 2023, he visited a number of prominent countries. Can you recall 3 of the most important visits?
Yes, sir. So I believe that in 2023 he visited France.
Yes.
He visited France.
What was the occasion?
So the Bastille.
Bastille. Okay. And
so secondly, he also visited.
let's move on. You have also been the president of. No, you had something to do with the Model United Nations.
Yes, sir.
No. What are the main functions of the United Nations?
So the main functions of the United Nations has been laid out under Article 1 of the UN Charter itself, which mainly lays down 4 functions. First is maintenance of international peace and security. The second is with respect to the sovereign equality, upholding the sovereign equality of all the members. The third is to make the UN the center of all resolutions of international disputes. And fourthly is also to cultivate a sense of economic and social cohesion amongst all
How many
countries.
principal organs does the UN have?
So the UN has 6 principal organs.
All right. And do you think that the UN is succeeding in discharging its functions?
So currently I would say that the UN faces a lot of limitations, especially when it comes to the P5 and the veto power that is enjoyed under Article 27, which does create a lot of problems when it comes to the fulfillment of their primary objectives. That is one. So, but having said that, I would say that despite its limitations, because it is a representative of 193 countries, therefore it does provide a forum for diplomacy.
But you didn't answer
In
my
that
question.
sense.
I asked you whether the UN has succeeded in discharging its obligations. First, I expect an answer, yes or no.
So the reason why I did not give a straight yes or no is because I think so it's a very complicated question to answer in a straight yes or no, because there are grey areas.
If the number one function of the United Nations is maintaining international peace and security, and it has not been able to stop the Israel-Hamas war, which has been going on for more than 5 months, and it has not been able to stop the Russia-Ukraine war, which has been going on for almost 2 years, how can you say that it has not failed in regard to its primary obligation?
So, I mean, not excusing the UN, I do think that those are grave issues that plague the UN. I would say that the reason why the UN has not completely failed is because the World War III is still not happened yet. So, to that
So you
extent.
will say the UN has failed only when there is a World War III?
No.
All right, let's move on. When you join the Foreign Service, you will be given a language, a foreign language to study.
Yes, sir.
You will have an option. Which language will you choose?
So I would pick the language of French because it is one of the main languages of the UN as well.
All right. Now, you would be sent to one of the French-speaking countries. Where would you like to go?
So I would definitely like to go to the main country, France.
Tell
or
me 5 cities in France which you would like to visit during your posting there.
So the first is, of course, Paris. After that, sir, there is also this so France, and then second would be I'm sorry, sir, I'd have to.
And you want to go, you're choosing a place which you know so little about. All right, thank you.
Yeah, Miss Jayashree,
Yes, sir.
tell me, in Uttarakhand there has been a UCC a few days back.
Yes, sir.
Just analyze that UCC. How do you rate it? Whether it is good, fully good, partly good, not good.
So I would say that it is partly good. The reason why I would say that it is good is because Article 44 of the Constitution also has talked about a UCC, and it has to be based on a consensus basis, and because the government has come out with this, and it has various provisions with respect to Muslim women, for instance, and also with respect to live-in relationships, the registration of live-in relationships, which accords some sort of protection to such members who are involved in such relationships. I would say that it is a partly good aspect.
So it provides protection. Some people say that it provides surveillance, it provides police, eye on them, and parents, and even third party.
Yes, sir. So there are definitely concerns. For instance, there is this provision of 3 months imprisonment if they fail to register within 1 month. So that is why I refrained from saying that it was completely good. I said it was partly good.
So
But sir, I would
one minute. By registering, how they are protected? Are they not protected under our Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita
So
from the crime, etc.?
So I would say that they would get protected because there are certain relationships under which it is minors who get into live-in relationships, or they get into live-in relationships through force and
Point is,
coercion.
even without relationship, if somebody does violence to somebody, is there no protection?
So
Forget about relationship.
Yes, sir. So there is protection, but what this UCC has done is it has also given the rights of inheritance to the child that comes out of a live-in relationship.
That is a good thing.
Yes, sir. So that is one, and so it also accords protection to the women in cases of domestic violence under the Domestic Violence Act, which had only been recognized by the Supreme Court as of now, but now it is also legally recognized under the UCC. So that those are the good
If Domestic
aspects.
Violence Act is not there, otherwise is it violence not punishable?
So it is definitely punishable.
Then anything else you want to say? You said partly. What is wrong with the code?
So I would say that the surveillance aspect as well, especially when it comes to the stringent punishment if they fail to register within 1 month, that is 3 months of imprisonment or fine. That is one negative. And
Tell me, what about this inheritance? Have you read about inheritance? How does it provide inheritance, particularly for Hindus?
So we have the Hindu Succession Act 1956, which provides provisions for how
Now that will not be
happen.
applicable. Now UCC will be applicable.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So now even the father, in my limited understanding, even the father is now included in the class 1 heir, when before he was included in the class 2 heir.
So that mother share is reduced. Share which was going to the mother earlier, now is going to both together, half.
Yes, sir. So, but I feel that because parents are parents regardless of whether they are the mother or the
No,
father.
that's good, but they could have been given equal share.
Yes, sir.
Father and mother could have been given equal share as the siblings.
Yes, sir. So I think because he's included, that doesn't mean that he will get the higher share. He will still get the same amount of
No,
share.
it is specified in that father and mother will get one share.
Yes, sir.
One share, brothers, sisters, and all that.
Yes, sir.
So probably you have not read it fully.
Yes, sir.
Read it. And this Hindu joint family, that rebate or a facility under income tax rebate was there. That is also gone.
Yes, sir.
Anyhow, how can we make India more democratic?
So the first thing we need to do is we need to increase the voter turnout ratio, because currently we only have 67% voter turnout ratio. So we definitely need to work on that. The second thing we need to do is with respect to media. We need more free media in our country, and we need less surveillance.
Free media, you mean to say now media is not free?
So that is not what I mean. What I mean is that there are certain concerns with certain media members that they could have political biases, and that they focus too much on TRP. So that could be one of.
So what can be done with that?
So with respect to media, I believe what has to be done is there needs to be proper transparency in terms of their funding as well, because
Okay, I'll give you a suggestion regarding media. You just comment on that. The media houses, should not be allowed to do any other business. If they do media, they should media only. What do
Sir,
you think?
I feel that that is a sound policy because that is a policy that is also followed in other jobs, be it the corporate affairs or be it government service, and because it ensures that you are completely
But then
independent.
your Article 19, it says that freedom of any profession.
Yes, sir. Sir, but the right under Article 19 is not absolute. That is why, sir, even under the Indian Contracts
But
Act,
those exemptions are not applicable here. On what ground you will ask them not to do any other thing?
sir, but I believe that even under laws and under contracts also, when, for instance, we have a provision in the Indian Contract Act where even though any contract that restricts profession is invalid.
Okay, because time is also limited. Tell me, what is the, in short, what is the status of that autonomy of Darjeeling? It was in news long back.
Yes, sir.
What is the present position?
So currently now there is the Gorkhaland Territorial Administration that has been set up, and this body oversees the administration, and the West Bengal government has also given a grant of about, I think, 650
Working smoothly,
crores.
there is no problem in that? At present, no grievances?
Yes, sir. At present I would say that it is working smoothly.
Okay. Last question is, 3 ecological services which forest provide. Just name the services.
So one is conservation. So second is
Conservation of what?
conservation of the environment in general.
Okay.
So second is with respect to providing a lot of facilities to humans and to the nature. And so third is aesthetic appeal of forest.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Jayashri. Our discussion with you is over. Kindly wait outside for a few minutes. We will call you for a feedback.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.